Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Season 12 Apprentice League finale here, and where else but Monaco. I really hope you're not so cooked, Bluebell Boy, although it turns out he's been racing on the wrong track. So, good end to the season for the man from Fiji. We've only got 7 drivers on the grid today with, I believe, a new person, unless he raced in Novo Plana, which was the last race that I unfortunately missed commentating off because I had about 1 megabyte per second running on my laptop in a tent somewhere in random midst of Scotland. Anyway, in Monaco, I am the only commentator here today, so there's going to be a whole lot of yapping going on, which I feel, being from the UK, I'm relatively good at. Siskin, I'm going to say his name like that, and if it's wrong, then oh well, hitting the wall out of the first lap of qualifying. Who's going to set provisional pole? It is, of course, the championship leader and the man looking to take it all here today. All he needs to do is score 4 points in today's race, and he is confirmed the winner. And considering everyone on the grid gets points anyway, and there's only 7 people, say hello to your new driver champion, basically, unless he DNFs in lap 1, which I hope for his sake is not the case. Although, because it's kind of came out through various sources that this is going to be his last sort of weekend here in Monaco in lap 2 now of 3. Is it going to be Mika Tamika still on provisional pole? Yes, it is. No moves, and Axis gaining some time on Mika. It's looking very close between these two drivers that have been battling all season long. Axis having a great season, or just not finding the luck to get up onto the podium consistently enough to challenge Mika up at the top. At the... I forgot the name of that chicane again. Oh my god. All week long I've been trying to memorize the names of these corners. And nothing. Newville, thank you. Anyway, lap 3 of qualifying. Is it going to be Mika Tamika who takes pole? No, it's not. It's going to be Axis with pole position. Then Mika, our championship leader, in P2. Then VZS in that sweet spot in qualifying. You get a mega boost from there in this track. Ricky Boy in P4, also looking to have a good weekend. He is the only one that can currently stop Mika getting the win of the championship. He basically needs God to resurrect himself and come down and help him if he wants a chance at this title, unless it's going to go to Mika. Anyway, the new one, Siskin in P5, Go 14, returning from the depths of Brazil in P6, and Bluebell Boy, who's been practicing the wrong track, in P7. Still a good position, but it's last because that is the activity we're dealing with in this league nowadays. Hello again, and welcome to 21 laps of the Monaco circuit. Very mixed strategies too on... Never mind. Okay, just ruin my commentary to the start of this race, and that's fine. It's lights out, and away we go in Monaco. Axis on pole, Mika Tamika in second, and VZS in third. Ricky Boy making a pretty good start up past VZS, up, and gets hit into the wall. Axis also hit into the wall and back down to 5th. That is really unfortunate. VZS with a VZS dive bomb, almost there, but backs out of it. Bluebell Boy in the hairpin. He's been practicing on the wrong track where you could cut that. That will be a surprise to him. Mika Tamika saluting himself into P1 at the start of this race, doing very well so far. Axis with probably the worst start he could have had in this race, hitting the wall in pretty much the first set of corners. Ricky Boy, lovely move on Mika there. Where is Mika gone? He's down in P4. I look away for a second and he loses 3 positions. Thanks for that, Mika. Always doing the exciting stuff when I'm not watching. VZS hitting to the wall there and hitting into the hairpin, slowing down far too much, and Ricky Boy almost taking the lead. Oh, good God, please tell me we're not 3 wide into the into the chicane. We are, and Ricky Boy hits the grass, VZS hits the wall, and Mika somehow survives all of that. Siskin up in P3 on his debut with a great race so far. Mika and VZS really going 2 wide through basically half of that lap there. That was... I don't know how more people didn't die going 3 wide into the Newfell chicane. I've forgotten already, and I was told a minute ago. I'll probably saying it wrong. Anyway, VZS up in P1. Siskin battling the championship leader, almost 3 wide again, but Siskin gets that little brake check thing that you sometimes get. VZS still in first. Mika Tamika up into second after a bit of a horrid start, and Siskin on his debut in third. Mika Tamika with the mistake is somewhat crumbling under the pressure in these first 3 laps, although all is safe and sound because all he needs to do is score 4 points, and he's well ahead of that as it stands. Anyway, these battles going on is helping Axis slowly but surely catch up. Go 14 and Bluebell Boy having a little bit of a battle. Go 14 making his debut Man, I can't commentate for long periods of time without having to stop. Goal 14 making his return to the leagues, not his debut. Further up, VZS with a big gap here, although it is all futile for him in the standings because he's not been here enough. Mika Tamika up in second place. I believe he had a little battle with Siskin there, and Siskin has been caught by Axis, pushes him very wide. Axis just lets it happen. Into the hairpin, Mika with a little bit of grass. Siskin trying to send a move on the hairpin, did not work, but he's got the slipstream from Ricky Boy. This is not the position to make moves, but this is AL, so you never know where people are going to make moves. Further back, Goal 14 is somewhat catching Axis with all the battles going on, but so far there's a big gap between Ricky Boy and Mika, and a big gap between Mika and VZS, although Mika is a very good driver, and you can already see the gains in places. Ricky Boy, how have I got the two people mixed up? I have no idea. One's Dutch and one is very not. Siskin with a lovely little move. Ricky Boy going too wide into there. He's been told to go wider into that corner from myself when I was trying to help earlier this week, and he just went too wide there. Siskin with a little mistake though and loses out on the podium position so far, but he is still right there with a great debut race. If I'm saying it's his debut race and I'm wrong and no one's told me I'm wrong, that's very cruel. So I believe it's still his debut. Axis in P5 after getting pushed off at the start, showing some good pace here, although it's not looking good enough so far. Mika has caught VZS, so we should have a battle for P1 here. The soft runner, which is only Go actually, who has not been able to capitalise on the soft tyres. VZS making a little mistake there, should pit this lap or next lap, but 8 laps on soft is absolute torture. Mika to Mika trying to get back in the slipstream of VZS, has lost it a little bit, but VZS and Mika both making little mistakes here. Ricky Boy and Siskin still fighting further back, and Axis somewhat catching, but again, not as much as you would expect Axis to be catching, a very experienced driver in these leagues. Ricky Boy, Siskin trying to send a move down the inside, but Ricky Boy doing a good job in defense here. Mika Tamika looks down the inside of VZS, but does not do it. That is really not the place you want to be making overtakes, but could he make an overtake into the final corner? No, he doesn't. He gets pushed wide, or to the inside, sorry, by VZS. You really don't want to be making a corner there. An overtake on that corner, that is a recipe for disaster, even in UL, let alone AL. Ricky Boy somewhat gapping Siskin, and then Axis close behind, somewhat catching, has managed to find an extra set of pace here, maybe with the tyre wear, using his experience to his advantage. Bluebell Boy, oh my god, I'm looking forward for a break. Bluebell Boy 6 seconds behind, and then Goal 14 with the pit stop in P7, a little bit behind Bluebell Boy, who is hitting walls left, right and centre. Axis, Ricky Boy into the pits here, which puts VZS and Mika the only battles that's happening, and Siskin somewhat catching that pack as well, now in the clean air with no longer the Dutchman in front of him. Mika looks for a move down the hairpin, a little bit of a lag rocket here, and oh no, we do not want two players on about 100 ping making too wide into the chicane. This is not fun to watch. Their trailers has probably put them both about two car lengths ahead of each other or behind, and both pit. Siskin pit as well. No one going for an undercut, no one going for an overcut. I need to breathe for a little second there. That was very exciting. Ricky Boy with the undercut though. He has went for the undercut, and he has came out in P1 of the Monaco Grand Prix. Ricky Boy is your new leader of Monaco, and no longer, because VZS has killed him. Well, that was short-lived. Ricky Boy not giving up for this title fight though, and he is in the pack. He is looking for a move. VZS and Mika fighting. Mika has been sent into the wall by VZS. That was an AL move if I've ever seen one. And Ricky Boy back up into P1 of the Monaco Grand Prix. That is absolute scenes here. Siskin still in P3 looking for a podium on his debut, but he's got a very angry man in the mirrors now. He wants up, he wants to fight VZS, and he is into the hairpin. Absolute concertino effect, in the words of the GOAT and Lord and Saviour Lance Stroll. It was a concertina effect. VZS went into the hairpin and gets slammed into the wall by Mika Tamika. Oh, this is an amazing battle on the season finale here. I don't know what VZS is doing. Into the wall, hitting Siskin. Mika Tamika past Siskin and up into Peter. Ricky Boy has got a 1.3 second lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. That is words I did not think I would be saying coming into this race. Blue Boy Blue Bell Boy Pits. That is a really difficult word to say fast. Ricky Boy's in the lead, followed by Mika Tamika, who's been caught by Siskin. If Siskin was smart, he would stay in the slipstream of Mika, who is a very, very quick and experienced driver. Although he has making a couple mistakes, but he looks pretty solid nonetheless. VZS sending a move down the inside. Oh, good God, it's another lag rocket. Almost a lag rocket. Oh, no, it's still a lag rocket. No one's backing out of it. This is AL, remember, and they're all dead. They're all dead. What the fuck? Oh no, Axis. What? Oh no, why are you reversing on the track, Siskin? No. You can't go backwards, lad. You just can't do that. Mika's dead, Siskin's dead, Axis is now dead. Go14's hit the back of Axis and pits again. Everyone but Ricky Boy and VZS somehow is dead, and this is AL at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Soak it all in for the last time before the season break. You won't get this anywhere else. Absolute scene to the Monaco A-Prix. What the hell just happened? I have no idea. VZS catching the leader of this race, Ricky Boy, on the better tyres for now, but they will slowly but surely fade off more than Ricky Boy's. Ricky Boy has actually pulled out an absolute wonder with the strategy. I can't get over what just happened. I have no idea what's just happened. Axe is once again absolutely murdered in this race from... I don't really know. I think that all happened so fast. I don't know even really who was in fault there. No, Ricky Boy makes a mistake and VZ is also making the mistake. The lead of the race. Mika Tamika somewhat catching. Ricky Boy stays in the lead. VZS sending a move down the inside. That was actually a very surprisingly clean move, but a very good move nonetheless. Ricky Boy in the slipstream will maybe look to the inside. No, he looks to the outside and gets pushed a little wide, but goes for the switchback. What a move from Ricky Boy, and gets shown the wall by VZS once again. VZS showing someone to that lovely wall. He loves that very much. Little pre-race snack on some concrete. Going too wide into the Nouvelle chicane, I think that's the right name. And gets hit into the wall by VZS, who's really wanting the season finale win here. But Ricky Boy also wanting the season finale win. I believe we are past the distance where DNFs count as 0 points. If I'm not wrong, we are. If I am wrong, then I'm wrong. Anyway, Ricky Boy would need to get the lead of the race and makes a little mistake, so it's looking unlikely now. Ricky Boy would need to get the lead of the race, get the fastest lap, and have pole position, so pretty much already is done. Although I'm not going to say those sacred AL championship words until we cross the line for the final lap. Mika Tamika, Siskin and Ricky Boy in a little train here, letting VZS run away with this, but Mika will not want that to happen. In the slipstream of Ricky, head to the wall a little bit, and Siskin makes the move up onto the podium spots, almost a lag rocket there. And breathe. And Siskin sending a move on Ricky Boy even, and almost through goes Mika. No, it's 3 wide out of... Oh my god, out of the hairpin section is 3 wide. Siskin hits the gravel at the... I'm just going to start calling it the chicane because I'm scared I'm saying it wrong. Siskin in the podium. Mika not even on the podium. He's been murdered left, right and centre here. Oh, Siskin shows him the wall. That is surely a penalty. That was a massive... That was like... Without explaining too much of the history of Formula 2 and Nikita Mazepin, the GOAT... Mika shown into the hairpin. That was, yeah, maybe not the best place to overtake an AL. Siskin really wanting that podium on his debut in fair play, but I have a feeling they could swap positions after the race result if that is shown to the URA. Up at the top, VZS crosses the line for the second last time in AL Season 12. To start the final lap, 3 seconds ahead of Ricky Boy, just about. Although there's fights going on here, Mika's maybe getting a little bit desperate. Sending a move down the outside, gets shown to the runoff space. Siskin up into P2 with a relatively good move on Ricky Boy, less of a good move on Mika. 2 wide, 2. Oh, almost 3 wide there. Mika backs out of that one. Siskin heads wide and pushes Ricky onto the wall and pushing Mika onto the wall. It's a lag rocket in the final corner, but up at the top, VZS crosses the line to win the Monaco Grand Prix. Mika in second is your Season 12 AL champion. Congratulations to him. Mika is the championship winner of Season 12. Ricky boy with some fruity language there to end the season. Very, very that was a little bit of a maybe not the best reaction to end the season off, Ricky, but you're never going to win the championship if Mika was racing with 7 drivers anyway. But still a good result from him. He's had a good season. Anyway, going from top to bottom, I'm not going to stop because I've went off on another tangent, has been the story of this season. VZS with fastest lap wins the Monaco Grand Prix after a couple controversial moves to get there, but nonetheless he is there. Mika to Mika is your AL Season 12 Championship winner and second place sitter of the Monaco Grand Prix. Maybe not where he'd wanted to be, but I'm sure he won't care. He has won AL. Siskin in P3 on debut, although if anyone was recording that race or clipping any of that, I'd imagine he will be getting shown to the shirts at points. Siskin in P, I've just done him. I think I've got dementia. Ricky boy in P4 with some fruity language at the end of the race there, with a pretty solid race, getting shown to the wall a couple of times, eating some concrete. Lovely stuff in Monaco. Axis killed at the start, killed by Siskin, reversing on the track. Again, Monaco, absolute scenes. Goal 14 on his return. Bit of a unfortunate race for him, just never been able to get onto the pace in P6. And in last place, somehow only 7 drivers in the season finale. Bluebell boy who has been practicing the wrong track. If that doesn't encapsulate this season of AL just as good as anything that could have ever happened in the season finale, I don't know what will. This has been absolute scenes this season. This has been very, very exciting to watch. Probably one of the best seasons of AL we have had, between Sash coming in and winning by 13 seconds to getting banned mid-season for the first time in history of AL. Then Mika coming in and picking up the points throughout the races, staying consistent as he did in the first couple races, getting second. I believe both of those races that Sash raced, even though he couldn't win, he got second. He got the maximum points he could and deserves this championship. I would also like to thank co-commentators throughout the season, Kiato and Guzzyman, for being awesome to co-commentate with, and also for picking up when I was in the Highlands of Scotland with no internet and a tent. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope that I will also get to commentate next season of AL. If it's anything exciting as this season has been, you should look forward to it. Thank you everyone who's watched even just one of the races, and people who have watched every single one of the races. Thanks to everyone who drove as well this season. You have made the excitement this season and excitement we have got in the season finale to end it all. Before I go on another 2-minute tangent, thank you everyone for watching, and for one last time, adios.